is a research program that is available for honors college students where if they are doing an independent project, or if, let's say, they are assisting with a professor's research or in a lab or with a team or with a group, then they can join the ARCH program where they would be able to earn academic credit for that research. We also accept creative works for the ARCH program. Creative works can include plays, books, and so this is a great opportunity for honors college students to not only earn academic credit for the research, but also in that through the ARCH program, they're learning more about how to publish and present this research. They get to know more information on how to construct a proposal, how to construct an abstract. The ARCH program is a web-assisted program where students are registered for a course, IDH 4905. We do have different options of ARCH available where a student can do an ARCH thesis, where the final assignment for the spring semester is a research thesis of at least 10,000 words. Now, if let's say that the 10,000 word thesis is not a plausible length or format for the field respective to the research or creative work, we do have the ARCH project option available where the final assignment is a research report, or if let's say the student is planning to publish in a journal, they can utilize that journal paper as the final assignment for that project option. Now, we do also offer an option where students, if let's say they're doing an honors thesis or a capstone or a senior design project that engineering requires for their students, then they can have that double dip as an ARCH project. So if let's say you're already going to be doing that research or creative work through your degree program as either a requirement or an option, then you can have this double dip into the ARCH program if you are an honors college student. Now, if the question comes up of, let's say that I want to do this for 0 credit, that is an option available for ARCH as well. So they can do this for up to 6 credits per academic year. The curriculum in itself is all available on Blackboard. So this is where you will find the workshops available through Blackboard. So as you progress each week, there will be workshops available each and every week that are accessible through Blackboard. So, and in each workshop, it contains information that's relevant towards the topic at hand of, let's say, how to construct a proposal, what are the steps to undergo CITI training, responsible conduct of research, how to construct a poster. We also offer a poster review workshop where ARCH scholars can collaborate with each other and give feedback, constructive feedback, I should say, towards one another about those posters. And it's all through online in Blackboard because we do not want the ARCH program to conflict with a student's schedule. The one face-to-face on-campus meeting would be the conference for undergraduate research at FIU. ARCH scholars are required to present at this conference. This would be a poster presentation. One big advantage that I can tell you is that it is a very huge plus for applications to graduate school, medical school, and law school. So when you are applying for these programs, a lot of these schools receive thousands upon thousands of applications. So even when you are meeting their initial admission requirements in terms of the GPA, the GRE, or MCAT, or LSAT, and any other admissions criteria, and what happens here though sometimes is that some programs will require prior research experience in that if you're thinking of applying for a PhD in, let's say, the psychology field, typically they do require that you have this prior research experience because you are going to be doing research through a doctoral program. Is there then that ARCH can be beneficial for me when I want to apply for a job? And the answer is yes. A prior research project, a creative work, can be the plus that helps you land a job. It's not I will not say it's a guarantee though, but still, it's going to be that plus that helps you stand out above all those other applicants. With ARCH, it's putting the notation on your transcripts that you have done honors research. ARCH thesis, it will say honors research thesis for that course. ARCH project, honors research project. And so when those who will be reviewing your transcripts can see that you have done research through the Honors College, and that is going to be a really big plus for when you're thinking of applying for a grad school, medical school, law school, as well as any job out there that will look at those transcripts. And another great advantage of Arch is that it's a great way for you to connect with those who are also doing research or creative work, maybe not necessarily within your field, but outside of the field as well, because, well, everything is online through workshops. You're able to collaborate and communicate with those who are sharing similar experiences with you, and it's a great way to build your network, establish connections. And so a lot of people I spoke to with the research that they've done through the Arch program were able to find spots in PhD programs and labs after they graduated from here because of the networking that they've built through that research. Like, you're able, with the mentor that you have for your research, you have that reference for when you're applying for those jobs, for those programs. At FIU, faculty do have profiles on their websites or the web pages of each department. So when you're going through, let's say, biology, and they now have a website where you can filter out professors who are in a field that is of your interest with research. So when you see on the profile their research interests, that's letting you know exactly what they're interested in researching. It's also can include what they are currently researching to see for yourself if that would be something you would want to assist with, something where you'd like to join their lab and be a part of the team that would be developing this project. I always tell students that you have to first think about like what you want to research and what you want to create. A lot of the stigma with research or creative works are that whatever the major is, that's what I have to research, or that's what I should research. So when you're thinking of what research projects to do, think about what you want to research, what you would want to create. Or you can even look into any issues that you have noticed that affect you personally, or maybe you notice is affecting your community. My final thought, research is everywhere. It is not just in a lab, it is not just in the sciences or something that has to be within your field. Research is everywhere.
My project was about identifying the influence of caste and religion on intimate partner violence in Mysore. And the results of my research indicated that religion and caste influence attitudes about interpartner violence in both men and women. My research mentor was Dr. Dion Stevens. I had worked in Dr. Stevens' research lab called Health Disparities in Cultural Identities for a year before I decided to ask her to be my mentor. I decided to ask Dr. Stevens to be my mentor since I had already been in her research lab for 2 semesters and I'm interested in the research that she conducts. I had consulted with Dr. Stevens various research topics that I could research on. I decided to analyze the data that she had collected in Mysore, India on dating a year before I had started analyzing it. From that data, I gathered questions that I was more interested in knowing more about, and also questions that there was minimal research on. So the Arch program has an online curriculum. The online curriculum has a series of workshops in which it has assignments and deadlines for the assignments. The assignments also have directions as well as examples from previous students and how they completed those assignments. So ultimately, the assignments comprise your whole research project. In the end, you have to present in the undergraduate conference for undergraduate research. And in my case, since I did an Arch project, I had to submit a research report. The online workshops were very helpful. It broke down the different components of the research into parts, and also having the deadlines helped me keep on track with my research and also be able to finish my research on time. Having alongside a mentor was also extremely helpful. For all the assignments, I would always go to Dr. Stevens and she would give me more explicit details on how to complete those assignments. And she helped me with my research report and poster. She advised me on what I should include and emphasize. Also, whenever I had questions, I would always go to my mentor, and she would be more willing to help me and answer all the questions that I had. My overall ARCH experience was very satisfying. This is my first time conducting research, so having alongside the ARCH faculty, the ARCH curriculum, and having alongside a mentor made this process a lot more easier. So now I know the process and the components of conducting research, and I know the information that I learned will be very valuable for me in the future. So if you're looking for research experience and how to conduct research, I highly recommend the ARCH program.
So I'm Dr. Dion Stevens, and I am an associate professor of psychology in the Department of Psychology here at Florida International University. I'm in the developmental program in the Department of Psychology, so my work really focuses on the ways in which culture shapes health behavior outcomes. So I look at the way beliefs and attitudes about culture shape decision-making around health outcomes, particularly in marginalized populations, racial, ethnic, gender, and also global populations. So when I was an undergraduate, I was really interested in understanding the ways in which culture and beliefs from these cultures shape sexual health decision making. So a lot of my early work looked at hip hop culture and the ways in which hip hop as a culture shaped attitudes around sexuality, and images in hip hop culture shaped sexual decision making. I've built on that work now, and I continue to look at culture and health decision making in popular culture through reality television, some work around non-consensual porn with colleagues. But I'm also really interested in the ways in which culture shapes decision making around HPV, the human papilloma virus, vaccine uptake, and also the ways in which cultural beliefs like gender roles, attitudes about appropriate responses, shape behaviors around the perpetration and victimization around different forms of intimate partner violence, or IPV, particularly verbal coercion. That's a real area of interest for me. So I've looked at that in diverse Black populations, diverse Hispanic populations, and even globally. So I do a lot of global work, mainly in India. So being an ARCH mentor is a really unique experience, because you're not just mentoring a student in terms of moving forward, but you're actually working on a project. And one of the reasons I like doing the ARCH mentor is that the program is really set up and structured so that there's building blocks which really help you work with the student to reach the goals that they need for doing their project. And so it was really helpful that these ARCH students, of course, to be in the Honors College, are really focused, competitive, and really hard-working, motivated students. So that's a big piece that makes being a mentor easy. But also when they're willing to work on your research, you have this sort of merging of mutual interest to really move forward. But I think the key is having a really good student. So my most recent project was with Brenda Melendrez, and she actually was interested in some of my work around intimate partner violence because she plans to go on to medical school, and this is a real public health issue, and it's important that people interested in medicine think about this because doctors are at the first line of identifying victims of intimate partner violence. So Brenda worked on the ways in which culture shapes attitudes around intimate partner violence. She looked at my data that was gathered in India around caste and religion, which are huge factors in shaping cultural beliefs in India. And what's great is that there's no research on it. So she's really done some foundational work in the field. And working with Brenda was great because, again, having a student that's motivated, independent, and self-motivated particularly makes the job easy. So Brenda worked from the very beginning of cleaning the data, analyzing it, finding hypotheses, looking for research to support or challenge these hypotheses, analyzing the data. And you saw from one full year how she really developed a project, which was really a graduate level piece of work. And she's since presented it at conferences, and actually the manuscript she wrote from this is under review in a peer-reviewed journal in the field. So being an ARC mentor, it has two pieces. It's great to work with the students, but it's also great to see students actually not just learn skills, but build something towards becoming a professional in their field. So if you're interested in doing an ARC project, what I would first suggest is you find a faculty mentor that's doing work in your area. And my suggestion would be doing a project based on their work. A lot of students have come to me with these great ideas and real desire to do these great projects, but you really only have a short time to complete the project. And when you go to grad school or medical school, what they're really looking to see is, can you do these research skills? Can you think critically? Can you work independently? And if you go back and start from creating your own project, you might not get to see the full effort to its fruition because of how much time it takes. So the first thing I would suggest is don't go in and create your own project, but find a faculty member that's doing work that you're interested in and map onto that so that you can actually create a project that you can hand in as here's my written work, here's my written piece of research that you could submit. The second thing is you really have to be self-motivated. Remember, faculty are doing this using their own time, their own energy, when we're supposed to be working on other things. But we want to help students grow and enter the field. So we really need students who are going to show up for meetings, who are going to follow directions, or to go one step further, give suggestions, really take efforts to work on their own. So really sort of be self-motivated and really trying to work in partnership, recognizing that your faculty member has a lot of different things going on. And finally, go early. 2 weeks before the ARCH program starts is not the time to find out more, find a mentor. Start early, looking around to see who could work with you, who has time. And one of the things that works well with those that I've worked with is usually they've been in my lab at least 1 or 2 semesters before they start. So they know my work style, I know their work style, and they really become familiar with how things can be put together, and it gives them a jump start on getting the project done in a timely manner.